Andrew Wilson got sued by this feminist just because her feelings got hurt because of Andrew. Her name is Kylie, and she had a debate with Andrew Wilson on a podcast, but unfortunately, her feelings got hurt.
Greater, but especially because I talk about intersectionality, which means I'm often talking about the systems that uphold white supremacy and racism in the US, which pisses off a number of uber racist white supremacists. About 6 weeks ago, I was...
Some men that she's talking about is Andrew Wilson and host of the podcast where she went by herself.
And they ended up having me on a podcast that turned out to be Red Pill. I don't want to go into the details of it because it was honestly like the most traumatic experience of my life in order to not go into more detail.
Yeah, this became a famous meme called as Crash Out Kylie, and all of this was made by the fans because all the fans watching the podcast realized that only because her feelings got hurt, she said that she wanted to leave the podcast because she has some medical issues. So basically everybody started sharing this Crash Out Kylie meme.
Here's a photo, but they sent their hundreds of followers onto me to leave hate comments and spam report my account until it was removed on Instagram. For child, they do the same thing so that my content has been censored, is not appearing on people's For You pages. I've become a target for them, for incels and red. If you see this, if you could just let me know, because I'm like really close to giving up and I've been doing this for 2 years. This has been my dream and it's just like...
Okay, so let me get this straight. You agree to a debate and then you get your arguments completely dismantled by someone like Andrew Wilson, and then your response is to cry and say that this was one of the most traumatizing experience of your life. More traumatic than anything else? Like, what a charmed life you must have led. I mean, like, this is what they call a strong and empowered woman in 2025, because this is the one who can't handle a disagreement without having a complete meltdown and without running to a lawyer, because this isn't strength. It's a perfect example of how fragile their ideology is. The moment it gets challenged with a little bit of logic, then all of it shatters into a million pieces. Now here's another clip from the podcast where she was actually saying that she has to leave the podcast because she has medical issues.
I've actually had someone offer to pay me, because I'm assuming if I leave early, you won't pay me. But I've had someone in my comments offer to pay me the amount that I was paid to be here. So I'm going to go because I have medical problems. I'm not feeling good.
What if somebody in our chat offers to pay you more?
Oh, now she's considering the offer.
Do you think they would?
Okay, she is considering the offer. Now, she doesn't have those medical issues because she might get paid more to stay in the podcast.
Oh, look at it's all about money.
Mental duress? My ass.
Yes, if someone offered, I would stay, and I would cry on camera.
Oh my god, she's laughing now because, she doesn't have that medical condition anymore because she's getting paid more to stay in the podcast.
But I don't know if they will.
This is why we have the wage gap. This is literally why we have the wage gap, ladies and gentlemen.
But I doubt that someone will offer that.
I wonder, so they're offering you...
They're offering me 50...
So if you stay for another 2 hours, what would that cost?
So violated is...
Okay. She's negotiating now.
Oh my god. More.
On top.
Like, probably double.
She's negotiating.
5 years, so
$1,000 is how much your trauma
so I think
costs.
we would need, in order, would you actually, if it was doubled,
if it was actually doubled, I would stay, because again, I do have a problem, so I could probably stay a little longer.
2 hours.
I would just have to
2 hours.
Just look at Andrew Wilson now. He is completely bamboozled by this because she has some kind of medical condition. But if she gets paid double than what was agreed, now she can stay at the podcast.
Beyond, so we're talking 8:30.
Sure. Then I would need triple. Because I like
Troy. You're a tough negotiator, Kylie. You're a tough negotiator. This girl over here, tough negotiator.
Look at Andrew. He's writing some kind of notes. He knows something is going wrong here.
I genuinely do have issues, though. That's not a lie. So I just don't like to talk about it.
Yeah, keep saying it.
Yeah.
Andrew is taking notes.
Anyway.
I don't really like to talk about it, but I've had concussions and stuff like that. So
concussions?
It's like a brain,
TBI.
Traumatic brain injury. Yeah, it was a traumatic. It's like
she's trying to make a medical condition.
Do you want? We have
difficulty breathing,
Tylenol or ibuprofen. We could give you.
But I don't really want to go too much into it.
Okay.
Okay, so pay close attention to all of this because this is gold. For 1 second, she's on the show with the verge of tears, and now she's talking about, some kind of medical issue, and she just has to live. But as soon as the dollar sign dangles in her ears, suddenly she becomes a Wall Street negotiator. She's basically saying my trauma isn't for sale unless you triple the price. I mean, the mental duress just magically disappears. You can't make this stuff up. She just literally put a price tag on her own suffering, and in doing so, she showed everyone what her principles are really worth. But guess what happens? Later, she makes another TikTok video where she explains that she was, made to stay in the podcast by, offering more money. And, she was not really interested in money. That is what she is saying in that TikTok. Okay, she got Bell's palsy. Okay, because, she was crying all the night. And because of that, one part of her face just basically got paralyzed. And she got Bell's palsy because of Andrew Wilson. I mean, does everybody get that? Whoever confronts Andrew Wilson?
Specifically because, again, I am scared of these people, but you can do your research. I was misled by these people and told...
Okay, I cried for 2 days after this, then woke up with my face partially paralyzed. I was told there'd be a debate and not told I'd be trapped in a room with two evil and misogynistic men, Now, let us see what does she mean with evil and misogynistic men.
That I would be reimbursed for traveling out to California if I was not, and I have yet to receive any money. I am out $1,000 from my appearance on this podcast, and still every day I am harassed by their fans online, telling me that I got owned, when in reality I was disrespected blatantly to my face and made to feel unsafe. These people were talking about harming women. They were drinking alcohol on set and making me feel generally very uncomfortable and unsafe, as well as prolonging my duress by holding money and financial gain over my head because they kept trying.
Okay, so basically they made her stay by, putting financial gain on her head. But this is not what was actually happening. She was the girl who was doing, some Wall Street level negotiation that she wants a triple price for her to stay in the podcast.
By holding money and financial gain over my head because they kept trying to prolong my stay longer and longer under the conditions in the contract that they wouldn't pay me unless I stayed till the end. On the live stream, people would send in money and be like $10 to put a sock in her mouth, slap the bitch.
Okay, these are the kind of super chats that people give. I highly doubt that if, that is something that was not moderated. But she says, I felt like I was in a real-life Black Mirror episode. I flew across the country for the podcast and never received any payment. I was harassed for 3 hours straight. Okay, so if your arguments get dismantled by someone like Andrew Wilson, you're basically getting harassed. My family was so horrified. Okay.
Put a sock in her mouth, slap the bitch, $20, and a bunch of other things.
If people are saying such kind of things, if they're making meme out of it, it means that maybe something is wrong with you. Something disgusting that you did was actually noticed by all the people, because people are not dumb. Like, people of today, they are intelligent, they have internet, they can research, and they can, have great logic and understand things easily. You can't just, put up your ideologies, your feminism in front of the people and, show fake tears and try to gain sympathy from everyone. But this is what is happening right now. I want you guys to give me your opinions in the comment section below, and we'll meet soon in the next video.